Unity Broadcasting.
Unity Broadcasting Television don't come for unify, sensitize, and inform Salon people home and abroad. Broadcasting TV don't come. For developments now we country TV. Unify, sensitize and inform we all. For developments now we nation Salon. Unity Broadcasting TV don't come. For developments now we country TV. Unify, sensitize and inform we all. For developments now we nation Salon. We now independent media house. We dey here for unify, sensitize and inform. Sierra Leoneans home and abroad.
We dey have so for talk, but waiting they happen. Political discussion, you for know about Salon politics. Religious messages, entertainment self no go left bien. We no go left nothing bien no.
Broadcasting TV don't come. For developments now we country TV. Unify, sensitize and inform we all. For developments now we nation Salon. Unity Broadcasting TV don't come. For developments now we country TV. Unify, sensitize and inform we all. For developments now we nation Salon.
Morning to all we listeners. Unity Broadcasting. First of all, I want to take this opportunity for telling also this now. A privilege, an opportunity where Unity Broadcasting don't give me for come do me show today Salon Tok forum where they deal with issues, comment and analysis. I want for do that in platform. I want to tell the management boku thank you for this. This they show them patriotism. This they show them commitments. This they show say yes indeed they want to make sure say information that So again, I want to tell Unity Broadcasting management boku thank you for this opportunity. As I will see today now Saturday, this now August 13. And like I say, now Salon Tok forum this today. I just use this platform. I just use. When they come talk about a lot of things that we don't happen. When they start off first by expressing Salon Tok forum, they start off by expressing deep condolence, sincere condolence to the victims of this criminal war. Where APC be one can go to the country. We know they hide anything here. We know they begin to pretend as if we don't know what they know. We know this, we know so that APC do this. Because the reason for this is simple. The authority for this is simple. Right from 2018, after that elections where they lost, now and by Koroma vow, and Fode Asane vow, and Samuel Kama vow, and say, if they're not in governance, Salon no go ever see peace from 2018 when they talk and take today with the CM. Take today with the CM. What they do? Then get the teams ready, then get the people them. They put them ready from various strategic points there. You get even people like Adi Macaulay, they all. Joseph Kamara them. And they all of them. Of course, you get so other people are not going to even call the names when they're part of this. So we all see what happened Wednesday, which was very unprovoked. The reasons the way they give for this kind of a thing, when they do so, is totally unacceptable. Because even America also did hardship day. Not so because hardship day, so the next one they go and say they go put a sitting government and beside look the manner where they go. You talk about gasoline, as a matter of fact, Salon no put in we in America so 20 days with gasoline. So in order also take there for talk now, everything with APC do now, where they want for rationalize them. No. Either they sponsor this, no, go straight to the point, and it's by Corona and they sponsor all this criminal violence that now simply because in lucky enough, the government not take the chief money in hand. Wait, not take now they take for sponsor all this criminal violence also. Now they do so. What you want to do? Want the loyal armed force system. Boku thank you. Where they stand with constitutional government. want tell them. And we for also tell God thinking, the people are way do this here, they not cross, and may place the way them for go inside, the seat of government, they most in a state house, as well as with parliament and not good, it'll be different. See, we tell God thinking, we applaud them people that will do this, the security services, that we applaud them for a very good job we they do. And we also want kind for applaud the president because we don't hear what you don't talk. You don't take a stand. The hope is that you go on very smoothly. Investigations will take place. And when the president talk, anybody where they find out say he handed it with his sponsor, it fulfill the full consequences of the law. The laws, because the president also they go hit hard. He talk up. So we they take the president when he talk, we they take him for sure. Say yes. Nobody not will spare this because not to the first time this. This don't get out of hand. What we also now need for let the administration do, the envoys the way they abroad. They now need for begin if they at all be the taken here like a joke, the threats them where APC they make for destabilize the country, for bring war at the country, for kill many people them because we don't hear where they talk up. They know they hide them. For kill many people them, they don't get a list where they draw or people where they get. If we ambassadors say where they out them, they take this a joke, they not for take them a joke. What did they need for do? Nigeria don't set the example. Now me quite already talk about Nigeria and Ghana. What did Ghana do? Nigeria government work with the British government against a citizen in Nigeria, even though he got British paper, but in Nigeria, the government of Nigeria don't take the case of this guy. I think even not in name Adeika. Adeika. Show me. Waiting the government of Nigeria do, they work with the British authorities, the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, and the Home Office, and I believe so with the Justice Department also in England. They come together as a team, then build a case on them. Waiting this fellow be a 45-year-old, what do they do? They incite citizens in Nigeria just to go to a, like I said, the one day where they call, say, then they go to this. We now, well, yes, although na Salon Tok forum, but we using Unity platform. I don't go call anybody in name because this station, they're a very decent station. This, so then kind of people, then kind of human waste them. We're not going to call the name. We're not going to give a face, but I know them. But what we they talk now, the one day way respond to that kind of thing, it says so much about them. It says so much about them, their humanity and values, than whoever do they call them. If they're not been brain dead, then brains have not been died, they will say, wait a minute, we don't hear this. You can't join winner. Then we not say what you they talk you mean now. But you know go then people in your country, you they enjoy everything. Then you they send me to the 4 police officers and they die unnecessarily. I not talk about the other cities in the way that 4 police officers and wait don't clean them in them, we go about the business. We see that the other policeman, the man was stripped naked. Did not we law enforcement agents that kind of a scene the way anybody what will see that spectacle they will see. Now wonder where nobody know for glad for. So we they urge the government. You all where the president don't come talk. We they urge the government. Whoever they behind them TSO, we sponsor them. We don't care. Let them say, now you know the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him. For the first time, Lord, say the Quran come up na. If let them say, you know, Jesus Christ, we'll say that Bible come on na. We deal with the loss of Salon. We they call on the president. He must make sure he set example. We want start for tell about Kuteki. He don't fire the people the way and by Kurma we put at that place for let them help with this. Some of we don't call for let them fire we don't call for this. We don't call for this because and by Kurma, people in Nandi, it can America so it means to the APC people there. So all of them plans say, yeah, they may not day. When some of we call say let them fire them and say, oh, they talk about no tribalism. Now only President Bio no more out of kindness of anything. I can use an example. On March
March 21st, 1967. Shortly, they swear in Shaka Stevens as Prime Minister. He not even come on as State House. Now he left. Now he signed say, let them go pull then Colonel John Amadou Bangura come on again, make an army commander, and Brigadier David Lansana be army commander. He said let them put him. And this man was involved in treason. He been involved in a trial for attempting for takeover from SLPP in January 1967. I don't know if some of you remember that coup when they call it the Mayos Day coup, January 24, 1967. Now, God knows what coaching happened to this government where people that the information can't quick they wrap down them up. Whilst the man in jail, now Shaka Stevens signed paper once they be appointed as Prime Minister, say let he go be the first commander. So these are the things where there are certain jobs and they you know they give any other person where you don't trust. Now only Salio na they, President Biode under pressure say you forgive this job to this person. No, the president they forgive job to people where he very comfortable with. People that way you go trust in their loyalty. Because look like what Sule say do. As army commander, we don't see the aggressiveness. And these are the guys that way, and by Koroma people there. That these are the using this way, and by Koroma very comfortable. Now he already talks so nobody no go do nothing. They're very comfortable about the fact that the army there on their side. So now that the president don't begin they actually go inside it, one day they even go further. Anybody where you loyalty where they doubt the public commodity. Anybody where they doubt your loyalty and you're not loyal to the state, you not get for be loyal to President Bio as a person, but you get for be loyal to the commander in chief. When are your job that for ensure the well-being in the country. But since una don't show say una de na and by Kurma una de work for una might as well go na makini go be work for. So one say God thank you and commend the president for firing Sule say as chief of defense staff with and Halston where we in New York for a long time. Halston meaning that we mission na New York now the APC we don't send up, but they call them back home. They not promote them. They make them something like brigadier general, but that enough satisfied that they all want to stabilize the government. So tell God thank you for the firing of them, and that this one of we be done the call because everybody when they hear me. Maybe don't call say let's say go. He has to go. In loyalty, very doubtful. Now and by Koroma, young people in Nanda, the man very secure. And one thing again, we want tell the government. This will not go hide them. APC is overwhelmingly Freeton overwhelming na then get them. They sit on a Freeton. They don't be all the people they form. They did it. Now we got to understand say Freeton are the political and administrative headquarters of the country. Therefore, the security of Freeton for me of the greatest concern. Inside America, what they so the White House now, the Parliament now, the Congress, so the Supreme Court or the area they you get the armed forces and they get what they call you get a Patriot missile where they somewhere where they monitor them. Yes, we not get that technology. We not get that money. They forget the way that kind of defense mechanism where United States get, where they make make sure say the eyes they see everywhere. But we get a lot of army people the way they now they Daru and other places. They don't they need for deploy the army na Freetown at the capital. We need for get a heavy presence of the armed forces them, so they go to work with the police them. Because security, as a matter of fact, Shaka Stevens has always stressed that. He said security, internal vigilance that the price that we will get for pay for with liberty. He is on record saying that. Some of we follow the politics of Shaka Stevens. In order to play with security, because if the nation they is not secure, all this progress we President Bio don't make, all this advancement we don't make within 4 years, where you compare to 11 years of sheer criminal mismanagement and backwardness of the country, we not go see them. Look, they complain about transportation were difficult. Look, the new buses, they look how they go destroy them. How in a case of saying you will not get jobs, this and that, how did that kind of a criminal destruction
of infrastructure and how that go adjust. Now, what you go up with the money where them for use for do all that 9 and they say for replace and that make any sense? This accounts for the part where this government here go get for deal with them people in such a way that nobody know. When Sheikh Stevens be there in power, when people they attempt for do this, obviously enough, it make them understand say no, you cannot get away with this. Me all regret now, and I go talk openly as I talk for him, I talk openly. The regret now where the president take the death penalty, come out by we book. Some of you they regret this. The take where the president take the death penalty, come out that we book. Now they give rise because people them now get it believe say elect they do the most heinous thing, they not go hang them. When Sheikh Stevens been there, then they been there. And even when they pass the death sentence by you, when they don't see, when they start with the Mawegi and Power Brigadier Bangura, where he hang them all, he put them upon them by road, he let the hand and let all man go see them. They get a message from that time. Nobody not form with her. You get some youths them. What would they call the Mamioko Street gang? Then youths them they when they crap like that, Shaka Stevens will get answer for them. He will get answer for them. So yes, they're locking up the President Bio. He don't put the death sentence. But in as much as they don't put the death sentence, they are also get for the other draconian measures them will go for take place. Like I said, there has to be very serious investigations into this year. It get for be serious, it get for be robust. And anybody where you hand in a year, where the one day where they sponsor them, they forgo for them. They forgo for them. About time like we government begin work with the international organization like Interpol and then send we government can make a case. Like I said, I just don't give an example. Nigeria successfully make a case against a British Nigerian. They not lock him up. Like I said, 45-year-old for and wait till they call the way they call. Lord go on the CID. Lord go attack the president in office. Lord go do that. 9 months and go jail. So even in the exercise of your rights, so the one that we already talked about, oh, now me right now, freedom of speech. No, freedom of speech comes with responsibility. It comes with responsibility. Nobody not for make any mistake about that. Okay, not so because you exercise your right for talk means you will create a toxic atmosphere for the country. You go incite people. That incitement not to freedom of speech, Dandy. Now a rebellious act against the nation. Now a treason against the nation. So we expect the government for deal with anybody, the one there where they finance NTR, that they because now they get for do just like this I call that business. When the United States got to the one that the countries the way they finance and then they go inside. Because when you don't deny any financing, you go inside and finance, then that way they you don't not get no way. So the sponsors of the NTR, because they were where gap where do they not just go there. They were promised or they were given money. They were. So now then source and they for go after for God guide the source. And look, you see, unlike the commissions of inquiry, where the president goes Safu, Salon Tok Forum 110, the president said there are a lot of anger and agitation. That then they expect robust leadership now. Then they expect a non-compromised leadership now. There should be no compromise now. There should be no. This is an act of treason against the nation. The one that will do this, they're very oblivious of what the country go through. The country go through 11 or 10 years civil war, and we see the carnage, we see the wanting destruction. 30 days, some people they not cover it, they not recover it 30 days. Where to go through? All through because of this criminal barbarism. The president he called them, he said they were not terrorists then, but the one they will not be understanding, they blame them. Oh, why the president they use this language? The president have very good reason for belief saying what he talked that true and 9 and not prove him so. Samuel Kamara don't open the talk and what they do they back out with anti-mandate activities. So not to hidden thing. What do they talk that hidden? They say coming events cast a shadow. They not hide them. Then they talk them openly. We only regret now where we law enforcement people then. They're not there one step ahead of the game. Now we regret that to some of we get. But the hope now is the law enforcement and therefore remain very vigilant, extremely vigilant. Internal vigilance Nana the price what we pay for with liberty. America now they're very vigilant now. The Homeland Security after 9/11, they put a lot of other things in place now. Yeah. They vow there's going to be no more 9/11 at this country also. So the Bio administration self will get for camp say, that Wednesday, August 8th or August that Wednesday, August 8th. There is going to be no more repeat of August 8th. And how that will happen? Examples they get for be set on people in such a way that anybody where they think say he won't do that, he go think twice. The one they will not know how they change government, either out of ignorance. If we not say the government where they in power, you know they do what you wanna expect. We not get a simple method now. We not organize yourself. We not come up with your platform and programs and things that we wanna go sell to the citizens there. That make even Obama said we don't talk. He say elections they get consequences. Obama talk up. Okay. Let the citizens decide. But if we not say power now go come power, we not go use any means for counter power. We they stand with the government for say no, that not go happen. We they call on the government for take the extreme measures against all the one them where they not say they hand it and they talk. The one that where do the government know them. Then the one that where they oversee them, like where they England, Germany, America, and other places where they sponsor next year, the government now need for begin they work with their foreign. Then government same. The Salon government now get for intensify their effort for work with them. They can say Nigeria don't set example. That I make where actually only they talk politics that they see me and they talk about Nigeria and they talk about Ghana. These are because the diplomats the way they get they're very robust, very highly qualified and trained professional diplomats. Where they did it, the well-being of the country then they secure because like this guy in England, where they do this year, the Nigerian High Commission, they follow, then they listen. So what do? They put the dossier together, they put evidence together, they present that to the British government, and the British government actually. We ambassador now, Ambassador Sidiki. Why? Now, an experienced man, we work in New York within the security sector. He worked there. He worked in the security sector in New York. And above all, he's aware of all of them incendiary comments where they make. Then comments where they make for go destabilize the country. He aware of them. Then they hear not for saying that he did, So we expect now, say the ambassador Y need for now turn the thing around. Let him make this, a top priority. Let them get all the audio say where they make, then threatening audio say for destabilize the country. Let it actually meet, with the Homeland Security people there. Let it convince about this. Say this not good for the country. This does destabilize the country. Then the one day where they do this, let them try send and go back to the salon. And we ambassador self na Holland. We don't know what's in the thing where we ambassador na Holland not go able to come up with a very strong case where go border on the national security of the country. How the ambassador na Holland not go able to convince the government of Holland that whatever they where they make insightful broadcast and they certain people they need for care and go back to the salon. If that don't happen, that means the government of Holland now in there we go just conclude say now then they support this kind of activity because the government of Holland not go permit anybody for destabilize them. I can say this for sure. The government of Holland not go permit anybody, citizen, no go threaten the security of the country. No, you cannot do that. So if the government of Holland no believe in that, say nobody no go do that, then they not for permit nobody now they swear for do that day. To me, we call that hostility. So I think the president actually need, if he need for dispatch a foreign minister for going to Holland, let them get very serious talk about it here. Let them present evidence about it here. Where they permit, this kind of a cynical recklessness for take place on their own soil. Yeah, they get liberal laws them. You're not to because they get liberal laws and they go permit it. I strongly believe say the government of Holland no go permit nobody for threatening the national security of that country. They're not going to remain quiet. They're not going to turn blind eyes or deaf ears. So if they're not going to do that for preserve the unity and peace and everything of the country, they're not for also remain blind and deaf. So the ambassador now need for rise. If the ambassador not able to do the job, I think so he need for be replaced. You know, go there, the taxpayer, then they pay you all that money there. You live at the expense and all that. They they do something. Me very disappointed in the ambassador waiting in Holland. Very disappointed. Because we've not seen anything, we don't hear anything when they say the ambassador, the embassy in Holland don't actually put an aggressive case to the government of Holland. If that not they have there, we might as well close the embassy. If we ambassador where then Holland, you know go able to defend the territorial integrity of the country. You know go when we might as well close the embassy. Close the embassy, but we not go get an embassy in the place. Then human waste they foment unrest in our country. Oh no. I think the president need for engage the ambassador about this. So now we need for change the trajectory of how the things they go. We cannot allow, and that goes for Ambassador White also. Now make Kaya. It now need for be very robust. It need for step up the game because, like I say, Ambassador White, now they work for the New York security sector now before he get job with this current administration. So this stuff will be a problem for him. This will be a very easy walkover. Will be a very easy walkover for them. They know the people the way they do this. They get their phone numbers. They know how to track them down. And then get a maze of evidence where they show the insightful and dangerous messages them. Like what happened so Wednesday. Now enough that for let them take their evidence and they present it to the authorities. But we cannot allow this to happen anymore. We get ambassadors and they out. You get human waste them where they out. Because me not go put any face on them. I don't go even call them a name. I call them human rejects. Then they out. Then they foment unrest in the country. But then the people in their own country, because what they do so, they not go do another, they not go tell no American person say, go to the White House, go destroy the White House, go to the FBI building, go destroy the FBI building. No, they're not going to tell that what they did. So if you know they told them what they say, send them, let them go do that. So it means you not believe in not to say you know for equally do an salute, not for do an salute. So about time now, let we begin also begin put pressure on we ambassadors and also because most of them what they do now the diaspora they represent you now. So we will make sure that the president be aware of them. We cannot allow it because like I say, internal vigilance now a price that will pay for. Now that will help the peace and security of the nation. This will happen is extremely deplorable. If I be condemned in every aspect of life, we tell God, thank you, the Bar Association don't condemn this. You for sure say this will happen. It get the support of the big people there, of the top APC people there, because me I know they bite me talk. And the opposition leader in the parliament, whether they call Cheno Maju Bar, I get a video on them where even in England, he gonna a meeting in England. Where he then at the meeting, where one of the direction of society, one of the hoodlums them, one of the less of human beings them, one of the human waste, and he get up and ask when they go take care of President Bio. As a member of parliament, besides an opposition leader, you expect her for be very, very responsible enough. Let it get up and say, no, you cannot make that statement. We cannot do that. We now we party not to so they do things them. You know, make no statement, you know, condemn them. So some of we just simply don't accept the fact, say, the APC about them, now then they send them on, they illiterate, people them, then they capitalize on them. Then they capitalize on their misery, their illiteracy, their ignorance. Now maybe they feed them with drugs and kill them, brains them. But then when they do so, they find, and by Koroma, what they talk so now, in West End, in Pekin, they know they're not Salon. Then I plush place in England at the end of the day. But at the same time, then they support for them destabilize the nation. Iyon picking them. They know they na Salon. They na a plush place na England. He left there now as I talk and by Koroma left there na England. So if una your family they know they na the pull and commodity, then when they let people them, innocent people them, we don't hear it where they talk about let them wage war on many people them. We don't hear this. That don't become a common theme now in Salon. Even drunk or somewhere, they all now we're gonna play. Boy, who's here? All that and the things start with Akisoya, they all. Me know they hire boy here. I know they hire them. All of them here. They failed for realizing. Then tribal a sentiment and the way they stock so now in the causative agents they wake up big while gonna Nigeria. We start in 62, it go to 64, then it go to 66 and 1970. We see the carnage and the wanting destruction which take place in Nigeria. We also not go forget about Rwanda, which happened in Rwanda. All of them here, so this tribal agitation also. Let's not forget that also. I don't go talk about Salon now. The rebel where we go there. I not to talk about that. The rebel where we go there. Everybody lost. The carnage and wanting destruction we take place in the country, we all lost. So they want to say one go through this all over. One thing about power, I think we need for they define this for people. If una believe say President Bio is not doing a work, President Bio, according to now young warped brain same and jaded mentality, he not live up to an expectation. That's right. Nobody not go force una say. Now na accept the President Bio na a successful leader. Then an individual judgment na go make. What we they do, we na comparative analysis we they do. We they look about 11 years in governance on the part of APC. They will go compare to 4 years. They will move comparative analysis. Waiting they in place now for 4 years, but 11 years will not see in place. That's all they make. We'll make all the compare and contrast. We'll make all that. Then we make informed decisions. Waiting that informed decisions. We they look and say, well, when the people have in the past, so, now this they do. Now this we as citizens and now we benefit. Now this we benefit from. So look at this. So based on that, we will make a decision. Then we organize ourselves. We come up with a campaign materials. We can't go to the citizens. Then the citizens they make informed decisions. Waiting at informed decisions, then they cast their ballot. Then they cast them. Once they don't decide, once the citizens don't decide, that's it. Now, where are the talk show now? Reaching there on that now. The Prime Minister, well, I will say the outgone Prime Minister, Mr. Boris Johnson, he don't lost his job. But the citizens, then they go back again for try for elect another person. And Johnson not go say Papa and go remain in office. No, not to go remain in office. Neither not to go pick his successor. No. That the citizens is one of the constitutional rights they are where the citizens they get. Nine and also. By September, by God power, they will get a new prime minister. Through elections, democratic elections. They know they impose anybody. Now Nigeria will be see what happen. President Buhari, they don't time the can down. What they do? They go to the polling stations. They go try and forget who that go be candidates then for the respective parties then. Who that go be President Buhari, they don't team, they pick what Bola Tinubu, they pick up. Goodluck Jonathan, their own party, they pick they pick Atiku Abubakar, whatever they pick up. That's what they do. They don't impose nobody, they don't impose no presidential candidate. Now that's what we need for the lookout for. By God power next year, then they go for election. And the citizens then go determine. When they determine that, then they call democracy for the people, by the people, and existing with the legitimate consent of the people. Them. You don't go impose. One of the problems that what they get as that this imposition of people them and who are actually good at this game, that APC good at this game. From the time when APC came into power, we go back to Shaka Civis in time. Now they go back. Now I already call it a communist party, not a democratic party, because they not believe in them. Now a totalitarian rule, now communist rule, and they impose people there. The citizens they not able go to police station there for elect, their own leaders to their own choice. Now impose and they impose them, impose, and we don't want that kind of democracy. They in democracy then they only a relative with places like North Korea, Russia, and all the other places. We want the Western type of democracy with brothers and sisters in the diaspora. They will not stand election now through the democratic process. So all of them here now we need for the violence not to we answer. The hardship when they country not to President Bio. There are a lot of things in there where they are above President Bio. He don't do everything possible. The unfortunate part of this on the part of President Bio, he not get people that were strong enough, were robust enough, where would they come out and point these things them out by way of comparative analysis. You guys when I talk about hardship now, now roll back to Annette by Kuruma in your time. Now roll back. For now need for understand, say, government not help to create jobs for everybody. Now, this is one thing this what we need for the plant that people they work brains them. Waiting government they do, government they create incentives them. Then they create, a soft landing grounds them. That made them they give tax breaks. That made them they allow people there for import things them at affordable, tax level. Let's say they so they go say things they will do. Now government play that for create that atmosphere there. Government not go able, any America say, oh, then yeah. We were then we got to be honest with your own conscience and be honest with the fellow citizen. 90% of the workforce now America now from the private industry then. But how that come about? They create incentives them. They create incentives them. The government just don't want to make regulations them in accordance with the law, but not a government going to provide jobs. No. If you go now, mostly like, they make your internet company there. That's a government in your place, Andy. Now the private people then get it. Even the schools then, the schools then, the universities then. 90% of the universities not to government there. Harvard, Yale, California, MIT, not to government institution. Now private people then get down there. Private people there. So we need for the educate with people there about it here. All of this tier one that they play President Bio, you guys have been very unfair to the man. You have been very unfair to the man. The country not be elect a pope. President Bio is not a pope. We need for let people they understand this. President Bio not a pope. And much a man like away. The man is entitled to patience. He entitled to understanding. We not give the man credit where credit is due. But you guys are not doing it. Well, APC one talk say we are not going to they in opposition for even 5 years. How long SLPP they in opposition? We not see the ever causing here. What be then unity broadcasting? Somebody asked a question about why all the time why SLPP they papa now all the problem don't arise. So the answer very simple. What will you tell her? SLPP was smart enough for understand say the citizens they not elect a parallel government. They not elect a parallel government. In 07, now one government they elect, now APC government. They repeat them back in 012. Now APC government they elect, even though that election was questionable, because we know what Christian Top do to late Solomon Berewa, but SLPP accept that. And there's evidence for sure say let Berewa, let God get eternal rest, let God pave the way for let the man go heaven. It's not plain it talk. We see him. There's a video to that where he talk, even with the election. But Christian Top, for whatever reason, I don't know if not cowardice on the part of President Emekaba, they just say, well, let them do. They discard virtually half of the man in your constituency. But Mr. Solomon Bewa resort to violence. He tell people then for let them go out. And no, he accept them. He accept, even though yes, now be a wrongful decision that they may cheat him out of victory, but he accept that for the peace of the country, for the good of the country, he do that. APC, why would I not go be patient enough? Why would I not go be patient enough? What to make una get this a jaded belief say, power na get for the power. If una not the power, the country not go before. Why we also put that kind of a mentality? The hope is President Biyo go make let them understand say no. Now a wrong-headed a policy than they, now a very misguided policy than they, and it totally disingenuous on our part for they come up with any kind of a jaded talk. They now una go only there in power through the validity of the sanctity of the ballot box. Only that they go put in power. Any other means again, irena una attempt subjudice, and it will be met with brutal force. This is exactly what you will. There has to be brutal force against the agitators of the TSO. Nothing short of brutal force against them for let them get the message loud and clear. This is not a treason against the sovereign nation of Salon. All for power. No, you cannot be in power. You know that. What did APC do so now? They not clearly tell we say in a genuine democratic elections, they not will win. This is not the position of Salon Tok Forum. APC don't make it clear. Because if they believe in themselves, they believe say they get what it take for it may convince the citizens there. They don't need for result to this. And may create agitation then. Make let put people in lives that are stake. Go kill innocent law enforcement officers. 4 precious lives and they get lost. 4 out of criminal violence were totally unnecessary. So therefore, President Biyo, you therefore avenge this. Let them get the message loud and clear that criminal violence not to the answer, and no responsible government no go permit una for come into power through the logic of lawlessness. It's not going to happen. No responsible government inside America say, oh, they not so. You know they come of power anyhow you want. The one them way we result to that agitation, that January 6, 2021, they are being held accountable. They are being held accountable. Some of them in jail now, sir. And when I forget, not forget to, you're not a democratic society, but people are held accountable. In the exercise of your rights, you cannot, you right now go infringe on the that of the sovereign nation. It's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Not to option, and there will be unintended consequences. How you get the right, that's so the state self get right. How would I get right? That's so the nation self get right. So nobody in your right not go infringe on the other person in you. So una we go cause they mayhem they criminal violence in the exercise of una so-called right, because that's what me go put up, una don't trample on the state in right. So at the time of the day, the state in your opportunity now for deal with una according to the laws the way we call get clear laws them where I may talk against it here. We get laws clearly in place. Clearly. Now, one of the colleagues waiting on social media and the blog, the same thing what they talk about misinformation, disinformation, lies, APC campaign. Like, I think so they do them out of, I'm not sure saying out of ignorance. This will bother you know, you don't deliberately for misinform, you know, gullible people there, because they know say if they get gullible people there, he use the word weaponize, say this administration they weaponize the judiciary. Well, maybe you say out of dishonesty make that statement. Or more things that you know are we are, but some of which got taken again because of historical knowledge. We they go back when APC came on power in 1968, they begin weaponize the judiciary. They turn with judiciary to, you know, a satellite of the APC. They turn out to an extension of the APC. Waiting they do. I remember the cases that wait a minute, the treason cases under APC now we get one treason case after the other. We began proliferation of treason cases, and Shaka Stevens make them clear. I get evidence to that. He and the Chief Justice COE code they sit down. He tell them plainly how they want Nandi. Uda for find guilty, waiting for him. I get anybody will challenge me, I will prepare for show them the evidence to the effect. We see that when Mohammed Sori for that they case them in the on. SI Koma they gonna cut every now and then. They go there. And so let the judges see them. That's that Justice Michael could not be in charge of the case for let it see them. All that And every case where SLP, where APC bring against people, everybody they find you guilty because they don't get no choice. Then when I compare that to when Paulo Court in your case, because President Biono they interfere into the workings of the judicial and me Paulo Court free. I can bet anybody if not be that case not be the other way, not be APC, not be bring that case again, that person was going to be found guilty. Anyhow you look at, because they're good at for manufacture evidence. They manufacture evidence, and then they make sure say judges the way sympathetic to the cause, and then they sit up on the case in the way they win. So there's a big difference between SLPP and APC. We can judiciary. Under SLPP, we get free judiciary. I can give a lot of examples there. A lot of things in the way SLPP we want bring because they may get an independent judiciary where the government not be interfere, especially the government of Albert. So they get away with that. We'll go about the one party system. APC contain Nande, even the Republic. But when they can, they bring them back quickly, then bring them quickly. Even though they're gonna court or oppose them, and the courts them and may support them. So now they see, and when the courts they rule against SLPP, then they sit down. Then they sit down. But APC, you not possible, you not go rule against them. You not go work because they need to tell which they want. So after they wrap up from Salon Tok forum where they deal with issues coming in analysis, we they try for tell the administration. First of all, we they go back and offer profound sympathies to the lives that we get lost with. It's very needless because now needless criminal violence were totally uncalled for. It's totally uncalled for. This now a threat against the well-being of the country. Now a threat by very disgruntled, people them where they use gullible, ignorant, and illiterate people them for doing it. Politicians they way things say now a divine right. They only get the divine right. God don't anoint them for them in power. If they're not in power, they go destabilize the nation. And when they do so that progress, then they go behind. They can say all them bosses the way they destroy, all them infrastructure the way they destroy, their lives. Now big setback that. Now it setback. Anyhow, now look, we not achieve nothing other than we take the country go behind. As for the one them where they listen to anybody where they outside the country, where to much man enough for go there for lead una feel like a cow there when they lead than the slaughterhouse. Una they go. It says so much about your humanity. It says volumes more than the one in the way they turn for go do that. Because like me so kutubu when they no way not anybody will tell me no go demonstrate. What do you go demonstrate for? No go protest. What do they go protest for? Again, me tell where they go protest. And you know the time where they go protest? When are they go vote? Now the best protest stand is where I go vote. And they protest with me vote. Not with violence, so me vote. And the best weapon for take protest. So now we continue to protest. When I just because I idle, I not get nothing for do. And like I say, the big agbagba then APC then, and we not go rule Annette by Koroman. Now it me the police called say Annette by Koroman responsible for them here. Anyhow, look at Annette by Koroman. Because the chief money where the government not put common in hand it, now it take for inside criminal violence and anything. Somewhere they not talk up, they say they not have power, better no go in the country. I don't call them Samura don't talk up for the asane. And chain of Maju Bar when the opposition leader, he don't go sit down at a place, he encourage them kind of day. In law they call us suborn, it's suborn, an attack on the sovereign head of state. We get the video. Anybody who actually me prepare for play the video. The meeting where Chairman of Majuba go to England, where is sit down there and he as an opposition leader, he not say no, we cannot do that. No, we can't do that. We can't do that. No. That kind of language, you know, we try that kind of language then they. Then a serious language than they. Now a threat to national security and coordinating. Like I say, in the reverse of that, if now be an opposition, more than an SLPP opposition member be go do that. He say when they go take care of Ahmed by Kuruma, I'm not sure they go even use that salon. By the time they use that from looking at panel, by go there, it will be a case on that. Yes, Mr. Bio, I be quiet, like a nice man, a gentleman, but with with me that Salon Tok forum, they appeal to President Bio. Nobody not say they not be the nice man or they not be a gentleman. But please remember, you get a wider constituency, and the wider constituency in the country, the country give you power. They give power. They not give that power. They for sure and give nobody. Obama be anybody. Everybody go quote me. Obama talk. Obama say elections they get consequences. And in 2018 they not be tell anybody. They not be tell SLPP say for share power with APC. Are totally opposed to any actual go share power with APC. No. What do that under one party system we get? No. Are they openly they declare there should be no power sharing with APC? Therefore, remain an opposition, let them come into power through elections. Not to lose the president for consult. No. When they go for the election, we need to make them very clear. APC be carry their own manifesto go. SLPP carry their own manifesto go. When the people they look, NGC carry their own manifesto go. MSC for C carry their own go. Every party carry their own go. The people that decide on President Bio in manifesto. And now, if we work with, there should be no consultation with APC and any other. The only people that were the president in the other corner, he go talk with the leadership of the House, the legislative branch of government. Once on a while, he go meet with the leader because we America herself, the administration they meet with the leaders of the party. But nowhere not the President Biden, they go outside, meeting with the leader of the Republican Party. If they go, they begin the meet with all Republicans. And no, he cannot do that, not to the electorate. The Republicans, and then they win, they don't answer. So, President Bio, you now need for changes in politics here. The one that will elect you, pay attention to them. Anyhow, look at some politics they work. Pay attention to your constituency. Because in the end, because you go up, you can't do, APC will never vote for you. They don't show you, even when you time not doing it officially, they want to pull you come up in power now. Want to use any means for pull you come up in power. Violence, criminal acts will go even, bring more problem in the country. So if you don't get a wake-up call, say what you don't do, you don't jump on top of the tiger, you don't sit on and back, but you don't know how to calm down. Now you don't end up that the tiger is mocked. The politics of appeasement as at the end, now bring about World War II. Every now and then I can get chance for winning narratives and they are the bringer. If the leaders in the Western Alliance, they not be appeased, Mr. Adolf Hitler will not be forget World War II. We will never have had World War II. Politics of appeasement, they work now. What do? They embolden people then. Because this after the people they do President Bill, they talk plainly saying that this is what they do. And you now need for make clear you people that way around you. Finally, that going forward, any lethargy on the part of anybody, the one that way you appoint to you ministers, the one that way they the security and you get for demand. So now they get for pull the boots, but they get down for them with the straps on the boots. No more taking things for granted. No more laying around. No more babysitting anybody. You don't give them a job. If they're not able to do the job, put them commodity. A good number of the people that were around you, they don't get the capacity for the job, and then they're lightweights. They they do anything, especially in the communications areas. I don't know if they are not get people then where go educate the public, where they educate them. We know they see the robustness at which we were the outside the stream of government, where we not get nothing for do them. We know they get no benefit from them. They know they even they consult, but because of the good of the country, we they do their work. I can tell anybody where they outside, because of the good of the country, now make we the offer with services there. We they help the administration, and we they see how Unity Broadcasting self they do them, and how Mrs. and Salon Tok forum they do them. Till like this, you expect the SLPP people that be out there, not to for soliloquize this to us, coming out openly denouncing APC, that what President be talk, he call them terrorists, they not prove it. These are the things that you cannot afford where they did with politics in APC. You cannot afford for talk in the Cambridge language or in the Oxford language or in the I call it MIT language. No. You get for tell them language. You get for talk in language where they resonate with them. Language. Then they call it hardcore reality. For example, you clearly make them. He said there and I tell you it talk them. And that happens so. They begin. Why the president they talk that kind of word in day? Why did they call you to una no know? Una ask them. Because you guys now want come to power in any means. The Machiavellian approach now una get. The end justifies the means. It no matter how una come to power. The bottom line is una go in power. Una go do anything. Destabilize the nation. Cause mayhem. Criminal destruction. Look what happened. Loss of lives. 4 precious police officers, their lives get lost. When they come on and they oath for go serve the nation, they not be bagging for that. Then again, the government also now get for sit up and meet with the law enforcement people. And then they give them the tools there where they need, especially when it comes to riot control. Okay, other countries they even America has and then they use tear gas them on people. Then they use them. The government get for the security people them. Therefore, they are ahead of the game. They cannot allow themselves for be overwhelmed. No, that's gonna happen. And one way when they talk again, the government get for now make sure say all that I do, I'm a man them where they now then Dawood them all that they need for because like I say, God forbid if you see 8 people here, God forbid, and will tell God thank you whether not happen. Once they able to take over Freetown, that's the end of it. So if you just forget a robust presence of security against them. The army they get for they get for be well equipped. Forget about what the international community they say. You cannot be listening to that, President Bio. You get an obligation to the nation, not to an obligation to the international community. When it happens to the international community, not the international community not save and therefore police people them and the other people them. So you really need to pay attention to what they forget. Shakasivi never listened to any international community. That went for Anes by Kuruma. Now wait you now I make the one where they say why under APC not get it? Yeah, because APC make sure say now they call you shake a wap. They make sure anybody will come out of line, there will be unintended consequences. President Bio, you now need for change this leadership style. Me and Salon Tok forum where they deal with issues, comment, and analysis. Now they openly they tell you need for changes. You need a need for the CU every now and then. You need for the talk. You need for the address nation. If very aggressive, we let them know say, yeah, we get leader in the country. You have to be seen and you get to be hard. You cannot operate in the cocoon of darkness. You don't go allow Jacob Yusuf Safari for go lock you up. No. They go lock you inside State House. Now what you know, no. We got to change that, President Bio. Because the well-being of the country, the security of the country is very paramount. Very. This way happens for me a wake-up call. Now did they call guy on? Now God now saved the situation. Now did they call providential intervention? God forbid them guy if they be now different with it. You said them before we can the country again. So finally, again, I want to thank the loyal, security people then. We say no to this. When they stand up to them and say no, and continue for put their faith in the constitutional government. We tell God thank you for that. We tell God and President Bio, we tell you thank you for firing people like Sule Sissedem. Because Sule Sissedem, that's Sidon when he be Sidon there as chief for defense staff. Now then by Koroma be work for. He was not working for the country. So we tell God thank you, don't move quickly for replace him. That's what they happen. Usually America said the president they put people in a strategic place. We go carry out the program because where he failed, now they go blame. So tell you thank you. So finally, I want to tell Unity Broadcasting boku thank you. When they permit Salon Tok forum for come now they please that today for can do this program. I really appreciate this. I like the teamwork and Mr. Sir, I will work with them, NTND. This will they promote one and the concern this will all get for make sure say we nation remain totally unencumbered by the logic of lawlessness on the part of terrorism. But don't ever forget, and then by Corona be known, they wait a jihadist war, not forget it. But the only thing In order to said you had this war with the wage. Now actually if you mean the Salon people there. If you pretend like say that APC people there, you want wage we had this war on it. No, not to APC people there. That's Salon people there. And now that's until then, I want wish you a very pleasant good. We don't a very pleasant good morning. And thanks again to Unity Broadcasting for the opportunity for that candy.